Up till now, the series showrunners have constantly claimed they went back to the book. Go back to the book, they said. Go back to the book. Into about every fucking interview they gave. So to that, I ask McKay and Payne, where the fuck did this happen, and what goddamn book were you fucking reading? Hello, this is Mario Jade, and I'm back with another video. And the latest trailer for Rings of Power dropped. I'm not going to go into my thoughts and opinions about that trailer here. I might cover it more in depth in a live stream a bit later this week. However, just to sum up everything about that trailer and how I feel about it, it's in name only. It's in fucking name only, because nothing about that trailer at all reflected anything that Tolkien specifically wrote about the First and Second Ages. Nothing. I couldn't pinpoint anything where I was like, okay, that's where that occurs in that timeline, that's where that occurs in that timeline, and so forth. You can't. You just fucking can't. Because everything about it is in name only. But one major spotlight over just about the entirety of the trailer was focused on warrior elf princess Galadriel and her, per this title, violent quest. So again, I ask, what fucking book, you assholes? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? But at any rate, again, it's power of the uterus, pretty much. But at any rate, let's just dive right into this article. I'm going to give my thoughts on the summation for this trailer. So here it is. So the latest trailer for Rings of Power focuses on Galadriel's purpose as an elven warrior. The most powerful fucking mage. Just about literally in Middle-earth. You reduced her to an elven warrior. You fucking reduced her to an elven warrior. The new promotional video sports narration from Galadriel as she seemingly attempts to rally a group of soldiers to fight for her cause. While her motivations are currently unknown, the trailer suggests that they'll be tied to the death of her brother, who falls in battle against what appears to be an army of orcs. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because it says singular, brother. And in my last video, I talk about the butchering of lore surrounding Galadriel. I believe, and I still believe, it's Finrod. Finrod. And if Yahoo News is to be believed, they're saying that she takes up fallen Finrod's sword. Because she says brother. She says brother, singular. And as someone pointed out in the comments, which is I did not go into in my last video, yes, Galadriel does have two more brothers. She does have two more brothers who are slain in battle during the War of the Jewels. Okay? They die at the same time. Same fucking battle. Die at the same time. And she says brother. So I thought, okay, well, she says singular, brother. And I know Finrod dies later on. So if Yahoo News is to be believed, it's Finrod's sword. And here, in this article, they're saying he falls in battle against what appears to be an army of orcs. That's not how Finrod died. That's not how Finrod died. Finrod pretty much went out like a fucking boss. Now, it wasn't in battle or anything like that. He and Baron and a small band were tracking per the quest for the Cimmeril. They were tracking like Morgoth. They wanted to get a Cimmeril back. Right? And Sauron captures them. Okay? And takes them to what's known as, like, basically becomes a haven for Sauron's werewolves. Pretty much. I'm not going to go in depth of the names or anything like that, but pretty much it's a haven for Sauron's werewolves, okay? And he's trying to figure out, he's trying to deduce their identities, because they're not giving any information to Sauron. So he orders a werewolf to devour them one at a time until they eventually, and Sauron's plan would eventually give up the information, which none do. None fucking do. But Sauron eventually perceives, alright, that Finrod is a high elven lord. Alright? High elven lord with pretty much great power. And orders the werewolf to eat Finrod last. So when that werewolf returns and goes after Baron, okay, of Baron and Luthien, goes after Baron, Finrod breaks his chains and kills the werewolf barehanded. Goes out like a fucking boss. He's mortally wounded, alright, in that. But he kills the werewolf with his bare fucking hands. And now you reduce him what looks to be like screaming in battle against orcs, which again never happened. So I ask again, what book were you going back to? Because that's not how Finrod died. That's not how Finrod died. You're claiming to go back to the works, right? And if that's true, if Yahoo News is correct in saying that she takes up Finrod's sword, you're outright lying about going back to the source. Right fucking there. Right fucking there. And Galadriel never takes up any sword, never seeks any vengeance, or anything like that. She doesn't. She's a remaining child. Alright? She stays with her husband, Celeborn. Never fucking does this. So you reduce both of their stories in this series. While Galadriel takes center stage, the footage also includes appearances from a variety of other characters, both original and pulled from the pages of J.R.R. Tolkien's novels. No, in-name only Elrond. In-name only Elrond. The non-canonical Arondir. The, Legolas with the Fade, pretty much. And Princess Disa. Again, non-canonical. Non-canonical. Alright? While the plot of Rings of Power remains largely unknown, the series is set during the tumultuous Second Age and will feature the rise of the Dark Lord Sauron. I don't know how you could set something in the Second Age and not fucking show that, but again, it's in name only. It's Sauron in name only. It's Middle-earth in name only. Every fucking thing about it is in name only. Showrunners Payne and McKay insist that while the series is similar set in Middle-earth, it's in no way trying to compete with Peter Jackson's seminal film trilogy. No, it can't fucking compete, alright? No, it can't fucking compete. Because and I will admit this, while Jackson does take liberties with Lord of the Rings, there are those within the Tolkien fandom who still take issue with that. I don't personally, but while I'll admit he did take liberties, even with those movies were an actual adaptation of the books. Actual adaptation of the books, not the fucking appendices of the fucking books. So no, you're not going to be able to compete with the seminal film trilogy, because there's no way you can, because you don't have access to the works you would be adapting for the Second Age, and First Age also, in a way. But it's all over the fucking place. You're constraining the timeline so fucking much, none of it is how Tolkien wrote it. And yes, he did write the Silmarillion before Lord of the Rings. They're done at the same time. He wanted his publishers to publish both of them, because he knew that those works, the Silmarillion and Lord of the Rings, tied into each other. Alright? But the publishers chose to do Lord of the Rings instead. And Silmarillion wasn't published until after Tolkien's death by his son Christopher. But it was finished. It was fucking finished. Alright? Anyone approaching Lord of the Rings on screen would be wrong not to think about how wonderfully right Jackson got so much of it. But we're admirers from afar, that's it. Rings of Power doesn't try to compete with him. Again, it can't. While Rings of Power may not be competing with the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, many fans are already setting up comparisons to HBO's House of the Dragon, another high fantasy series based on a successful series of novels. Despite the similarities, Payne and McKay insist that their adaptation of Tolkien's work is not an adaptation, will be working to adopt a less brutal tone. Yada yada yada, alright? Despite the addition of several new characters in Rings of Power, Payne and McKay insist that the series is firmly grounded in Tolkien's mythology. Alright? They still fucking insist that. It's still firmly grounded. I just want to sort of quibble with the vaguely connected wording. McKay said, yes, we're saying vaguely connected because you only have the rights to the appendices, so how much more vaguely connected could you fucking be? We don't feel that way. We feel like deep roots of this show are in the books and in Tolkien, and if we didn't feel that way, we'd all be terrified to sit up here. That wording, right fucking there. Right fucking there. Feel. We don't feel that way. We feel. And we didn't feel. Feel. Subjective wording, not objective, but used as if it were objective to make it seem like they are being faithful to Tolkien's works, and they're not. If you were, you would say, we are. I am. This show is. State of being verbiage. Pretty much. Not feels. not subjectives. You can fucking feel any which way you fucking want, showrunners, but at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter how you feel. All that fucking matters is what I and others am seeing right before our fucking eyes, and that is the butchering and bastardization of Middle-earth. That's what we're seeing. But at any rate, there it is. There it fucking is. So now, if there is any doubt whatsoever, this latest trailer pretty much confirms that is not Galadriel. That is not Galadriel, and they are butchering. They are butchering the lore. But at any rate, what are your thoughts down in the comments below? What do you think of the latest trailer? If you saw it, what's your opinions on that? Again, are you watching this travesty? In my opinion, it's a travesty, but are you planning on watching it? Are you not planning on watching it? I've gotten to a point, and I will fully admit it in this video. Now, I'm not going to support Amazon, take that for what you will, but it's gotten to a point now with the gaslighting and the disparaging of Tolkien on social media that I've gotten to a point now where I don't have to watch it in the sense so people don't have to, but to correct the falsehoods and lies perpetuated by these showrunners. Because if we don't, yes, any publicity is good publicity in this entity's eyes. I get that. But if we don't talk about it, then people are going to assume. They're going to assume and believe the falsehoods perpetuated by these showrunners and producers and so forth for this series. So I and others will be watching this. So we can convey further. This is not Tolkien's writing. Alright? Fully gonna admit that, but that's me. What about you? I'm not telling you what you can and cannot watch. Are you watching it? Are you not watching it? Are you still on the fence? Again, all that fun stuff. Catch me tonight on Twitch, Jade_Fire. I'm going to be jumping onto some Destiny 2 tonight, because I'm very tired right now. So I'm just going to be using Tuesdays for Destiny 2, and just pounding out patrols, bounties, so forth, pretty much. Get those done, and hang out with you guys in the chat. Now tomorrow, instead of Cringe Factory, on my YouTube channel will be the top 10 animated show discussion that I do once a month with Steve Kenobi. So we all have our list together. So if you want to participate in that, get your list together. What top 10 animated shows, or at least in your subjective opinion, not of all time, just in your personal opinion, what would you include on your list? We encourage participation from the chat, even if we don't agree, or if you might come up with something that we didn't even think of for our list. It's all fun. No judgment whatsoever. Thursday, returning to Aliens Fireteam Elite, with at least Wicked Virtue and maybe Biggles Mets trying to team up as our own team of 3 for the fire team, and finally fucking rescue this dipshit scientist that... But anyway, and then maybe Friday Sea of Thieves, but we'll see. Gonna work out a schedule there, and so forth. And that's the tentative schedule through Friday. So if you like this video, again, leave a comment, share on social media if you will. This is Mara Jade. Catch you on the dark side, and gotta have the power of the uterus.